The election war of 2024 is being fought right now. That's the title of the piece that I published on Hartmann Report this morning. And basically, you know, with the rant that I planned for this show, they're typically the same thing. And what we're looking at right now, in my opinion, is a battle for the survival of the American Republic. And if the American Republic falls and becomes a fascist petro-state, and in fact, if it becomes an ethno-nationalist fascist petro-state, which is the direction that the petro-billionaires are trying to push us, and the white supremacists in the Republican Party are trying to push us, if we fall, being the richest country in the world, the most powerful military power in the world, the original democracy in the modern age, if we fall, the rest of it falls, right? I mean, how long would Europe be able to stand up against, for example, you know, China and Russia and an alliance of other countries? You know, you've now got Hungary and Poland and Turkey that have become basically neo-fascist states. And Turkey's part of the European Union. Hungary is part of the European Union. I believe Poland is part of the EU. I'm not sure if they're part of the shared currency or not, but it's happening, right? And part of it here in the United States is that Republicans and their authoritarian supporters are working right now to steal the 2024 election. They're doing this on a state-by-state basis. And they're trying to drop their treason attempt in 2020, which, mark my words, they will repeat in 2 years, well, in 2022, a year and a half, and in 4 years. They will repeat this. You know, there's the old joke. What do you call a failed coup? A rehearsal. We can't let them get away with it. At the same time that this is happening, the Republicans are literally trying to rig elections and trying to cause Americans not to believe in our own system of government, but rather to embrace a neo-fascist authoritarian oligarchy. I wrote a whole book warning about this, The Hidden History of American Oligarchy. It is happening right in front of us as we speak right now. And as that is happening, Democrats are sitting around going, well, we're trying to engage in a good faith negotiation with the Republicans to have a January 6th commission, a 1/6 commission. No, I'm sorry. This is a war. The Republicans have figured out it's a war. Democrats need to forget about bipartisanship. We have the House, we have the Senate, we have the White House, and odds are if we don't use that power now, we will not have at least two of those branches in January of 2023, which means that by November 2024, January 2025, Democrats will hold no power at the federal level, which means the end of democracy in the United States and the world. It's that real. It's that serious. This bipartisan commission stuff is it's just nonsense. You've got some good Republicans trying to do something. I mean, Amanda Carpenter's writing over at the Bulwark. You know, she used to be the communications director for Jim DeMint and the speechwriter for Ted Cruz. She says, no one should be surprised that elected Republicans are not, as a class, eager to support the commission. For some, such as House Minority Leader McCarthy and the people who spoke at the January 6th rally, a vote for the commission is a vote to investigate themselves. If anything, their opposition is further evidence of the need for an independent investigation. I agree. We need an independent investigation. A bipartisan commission is not the way to do it. And Republicans have, and just an hour or so ago, Mitch McConnell came out and said, we are going to block this thing in the United States Senate. Why? Well, for the obvious reason that Amanda Carpenter pointed out. The Republicans don't want to investigate themselves. You've got 140 plus, I think it's 147 members of Congress who, after the January 6th insurrection, still voted to say, no, Joe Biden's not really the president. What are you going to do with these people? Do you expect these folks to say, oh, yeah, let's hold an investigation into ourselves? People who are giving tours to traitors in the days before the attempted coup? No. Here's how this needs to play out. Forget the commission stuff. The way this needs to play out is that Chuck Schumer needs to get control of his caucus. He needs to go to Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin and say, you guys are going to vote with all the rest of the Democrats, and maybe there's a few others who are opposed to ending the filibuster. He needs to go to those folks and say, we are going to do this now. The summer vacation is coming. It's coming in a couple of weeks, and it's going to last all the way till September. And then when Congress comes back in September, the election season for 2022 has already started, and you're not going to get squat done. He needs to sit these folks down and say, you are going to join us in ending the filibuster now, or replacing it with a Jimmy Stewart filibuster, where if a Republican wants to block a piece of legislation, they've got to have 40 members on the floor continuously, and somebody has to be talking. And when they fail in that for even 1 minute, we hold a vote. And then all of America can see the Republican hypocrisy and lies and stupidity. But number one, he needs to get rid of the filibuster, whether he has to threaten his recalcitrant members or whether he has to offer them the moon. You know, we will move NASA to your state. I don't care how he does it. But if Chuck Schumer can't pull this off, he needs to be replaced. President Biden needs to get in there and say, you know, we are going to replace Schumer with somebody who actually understands the Lyndon Johnson school of majority Senate management. And then once that filibuster is gone and Democrats can actually pass laws, the first law they need to pass is an independent prosecutor or special prosecutor or independent counsel or whatever you call it these days. We've been through several of them, and we've been through different legislation to make them happen. We need a Leon Jaworski. We need an Archibald Cox, if you're old enough to remember these guys. We need these folks who actually know how to seriously go after the people who have committed these crimes. No more namby-pamby commission stuff. No more bipartisanship. We need a Ken Starr, a Lawrence Walsh. We need a Robert Mueller who hasn't been told by Bill Barr, you can't look at anything prior to the election. So you can't look into, for example, Donald Trump's involvement with foreign organized crime or foreign oligarchs or foreign governments. That actually was a restraint put on Mueller by Bill Barr. The 9/11 Commission failed to even look into Bush and Cheney's lies around 9/11 or their incompetence, the fact that Bill Clinton and Al Gore warned them 9/11 was coming and they ignored it. 9/11 Commission never looked into it. Why? Because it was half Republicans. You think Republicans are going to investigate Republicans in any kind of serious and honest way? There's a reason why they never investigated Cheney and how he had run Halliburton into the ground. It was on the verge of bankruptcy when he left as CEO and became vice president. And suddenly they're getting billions in no-bid contracts, and they're putting together such shoddy work that it's killing American soldiers. Oh, the commission never investigated that either.